1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mudblood podcast with me, William Thompson. And Paddy McDonnell. Thought you were going to say your own name there. And this is a very special week for us. Number 50.
Are you back to school?
I'm back to school. Yeah, Sean's dressed like he's back to school. You look like both a paedophile and a child. It's class.
and the teacher.
I look like a sub-teacher.
Sub-teacher, yeah. Go get your pollock snapped then.
People, can you come into camera so people can see what you look like? Because we're just roasting you at the minute. Like, imagine this guy comes into your class. Fucking tortured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucked. Like,
What's the worst? Do you ever make a teacher have a breakdown?
Couple of them? Yeah.
What's it? Because I had one, a maths teacher. We genuinely, she just left the class and fucking screaming in tears.
I remember there was a teacher called Inspector Gadget. And he was Dr. McGuigan. So he was a doctor in history, right? And was it history or was it? Yeah, it was definitely history. And in his class, every time he turned his back to writing a board, I would do a different animal noise. So he would turn around and I would go, "Meow."
And what fucking animal is that?
And he would turn around and then he'd turn back again and and then everybody joined in with it. So he just get that fucked off that if it started in the class, he just used to be writing in the board and used to go, "McDonnell, go into such and such," and he used to send me to another teacher. So I went to this other teacher, and she was a French teacher. I'll not mention her name. And she told me to go and stand in the corner of the room and not to move. So I'm standing with my nose in the corner, and she left the classroom when she was finished and locked the door. And I was in there for the whole of lunchtime. And I just remember there was this art teacher called Mr. Bean. He drove a wee blue Mini. And he talked like that. And he opened the door and I jumped on him and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "You fucking locked me in the whole of those time, you bastard. I could have fucking died in a fire or something." And he was like, "I didn't lock you in, I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were."
Is he deaf?
Oh, he was special.
Fuck me.
And I run home and my ma was actually like, I think she was trainee teaching up in the colleges. And I went and got her and she brought me up to school and the teacher nearly lost her job. Like,
Really? For locking you in?
well, you can't lock a child, but she
Two PC these days can't even lock a child in the room.
I believe her. I think she said that. Nah, I believe her. Back then, I was like,
I believe
fuck
her.
But she says that she thought I left the room and it was behind a curtain and that she didn't see me. She just locked the door.
Why were you hiding behind the curtain, you wee creep?
No, she told me to stand in the
Oh,
corner.
right.
I wasn't in her class. I was that bad I could put it into her class.
I did that. I used to, in class, with a teacher turning their back, I would undo my top button, or undo my buttons, apart from the top button. So when the teacher turned around, I'd stand up and stand like Batman, like that, right? Then one time I went to
Did you
do
know how
it.
to do that in your school?
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to do it in any school.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed
What
to
school
skip
did you
it.
go to?
At Wellington.
Right,
But I did it one day and my mate went to like help me do it, but he just ripped all the buttons off my shirt. The teacher turned around and I was sitting there with like just my chest out, so she sent me into another class. I had to go stand in the corner of another class like a fucking Chippendales dancer. And like, I was misbehaving.
Only with the belly.
Yeah. No, I was skinny. Weirdly, I was skinny when I was a teenager.
Were you?
Yeah. And then put it all up. Went to uni, put it all on.
Put it all on?
Yeah.
On the favourite?
Yeah. That was going to uni and you've so much free time drinking and eating. And just eat. In where I was living in city centre, just eat's going till like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all the best restaurants are up in the 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I turned into Pingu there.
You did?
There's another teacher.
But I did. I fucking drove teachers insane.
I would believe that. You drive me insane and I'm not teaching.
I drove the teachers insane. I apologised to all my fucking past teachers because I know I was a wee fucker now.
There's one, do you know technicians? Not an actual teacher, but like technology and stuff. They come in and sort out class. There was one was a fucking psycho, right? And somehow his first name got leaked. Everyone learnt his first name. I remember he was walking down the hallway one day and someone went, "Oh, right, Derek," and he grabbed the guy by the fucking throat, threw him against the locker and went, "It's Mr. Dean to you, dickhead."
Derek Dean. The double D.
Big double D.
Big double D wrestler.
Big double D, mate. He was a fucking psycho.
did he
I don't know
look-
if his name was definitely Mr. Dean.
Did he look like somebody off Jim Will Fix It?
He looked like the guy who used to host Bullseye, Jim Bowen.
Jim Bowen.
Yeah.
See,
Do you know who he is?
yeah,
Do you actually?
yeah. He's probably deep down. He was a paramedic. You see. Couldn't become a teacher, but just out of fucking long case and somebody fucking doing that. The cunt has PSTD or something. I don't know.
There's another technology teacher cut his finger off with a bone saw.
What?
Just
What is it?
because it said PSTD, so I'm going post-stress traumatic.
Sean's just having a stroke behind the camera.
It gives you fucking stress trying to work out what I just said. I hate that because Andrew does it in the car, but she doesn't want the kids to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So she'll spell things out.
Go back to that thing. Yeah.
So I was thinking of bringing the kids to DISNEY, right? Which is fine, right?
Yeah.
But when you say like 20 words in a sentence that's all spelled, you're trying to figure out the first one, and then you look at it and you go, what? And she's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And you're like, just fucking whisper it or something. They're fucking
Tax me.
mental. Tax me at all.
There's a guy where I grew up around Ballybean called Sammy ABC. I ever told you about Sammy?
No.
So he was called Sammy ABC because he wasn't right in the head, right? But he would
Did
spell.
you get the bus with him in the morning?
No, I didn't get it. He was a grown ass man, right? And I didn't
That
get.
doesn't mean that they can't get the bus with you.
I didn't get the special bus. I got the normal bus because I went to normal fucking school, funny. But Sammy ABC was called that because he would spell out.
You went to normal school and then they wondered why you were opening your shirt. Oh,
But he would spell out what he was saying to you. But it would take you, he would be cheeky to you, but you wouldn't work it out because he'd be like, oh, hello, you FATCUNT. And you're like, all right, so and then 5 seconds later, like, he's calling me a fat cunt, but he's away down the road.
why did he do it?
Whatever his condition was, it caused him to spell out words. And he's known around Ballybean, Sammy ABC. He's Sammy ABC. Be like, HELLO. And like, you're talking to him and you're like, I can't spell that quickly.
BCK. What?
Yeah. He swings for you. There's another teacher in our school. He cut off his finger with a fucking saw and everyone called him Trigger.
We had Jesus, he was like a fucking 10-dan black belt, and he dressed like he was in the 70s. Like, genuinely.
As Jesus famously did in the Bible.
No, he genuinely wore like these cloth tracksuits. They were like. He was
That's
like,
very Jimmy Savile.
He dressed. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
is that-
But he looked more like Snoop Dogg. So there was actually a coolness. He didn't.
Was he
look,
white?
But he didn't look like a pedo. But he actually would put you in mind of a white Snoop Dogg. Do you know what I mean? He got away with it. But he would wear headbands and he had no like the
Dreads?
wavy long hair,
Yeah.
and he had a beard. And he wore wee panny sunglasses, but he drove like a Vauxhall Cleaver and all. No, he drove like
That's the most 70s thing.
he was like, when you seen him, it was just like the music from Starsky and Hutch's. You know what I mean? When he walked across the yard with the wind blowing, he just was cool.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have been cool.
Yeah.
But he was called Jesus, but he would fucking beat the bollocks out of you. Like, he would literally beat the fuck.
That took a turn. I thought he'd be sorry and be like,
mate,
peace, man.
Yeah,
nah.
yeah, you would think he's a fucking, like, yeah.
He's
far
taking
out,
the
mate.
shades off and
Nah,
fucking
he was
getting ready to
literally
smack
like,
you
he
up.
would fucking take his shirt off, right? And he would flex his six-pack and go, hit me with whatever piece of wood in here you want. And people were baiting him, baiting his belly, his six-pack with no big wax of wood.
What class does he teach him where he's like, your lesson today, hit me.
Right? I'll tell you where the scenario came from. It wasn't just like, today's lesson is this, and he had an overhead projector of showing you how to...
His abs
But it was...
on the blackboard.
People would have been like, fuck up, Jesus, or something, or no, trying to make a content out of him, and he went, right, do you reckon you take me? And then he would fucking take his top off and go. And like, I physically watched people break wood over his fucking belly. He was just a fucking lunatic. But the best one was Ducky Mallon.
He sounds like a
Ducky
ramen.
Mallon was this. He looked like a West Belfast Donald Trump. He would dye his hair, but he had this big red face, but he'd fucking massive hands. He was a big fucking lump of a man, like. But he used to do the doors at the weekend and all. But he wore a suit, and he had a suitcase, and his suitcase, when he opened it, was just filled with focus points. Do you know what focus points were?
What's a focus point?
There were these wee vouchers you got inside the Regal Fags,
Right?
and you saved up the wee tokens, and you sent them away, and you could get stuff.
Is it like Tiger tokens, kind of?
So what was that? Was
Was
like
it petrol stations? Yeah.
Same as that, only came in your fag box. I
Right.
have one. I'll send you it. I have one focus point
Yeah.
in my shed, a cap. But he would get all the wee lads to give him focus points or collect them. So you used to see them about the road and people used to collect them. And he was saving up for a shotgun. And
You said that like that's the most normal. I thought he was getting like a wee electric food
no,
spot.
he was saying, like, I've got a wee house in Donegal and I want to get this double barrel shotgun. And you can get it off Regal, right? So he was paying everybody for these focus points, like 5p or something for each one. And he's saving up. And he had a suitcase with him. So he had nothing, only focus points in the suitcase. But he looked, like he had grey trousers, black suit jacket, big suit, big red face. But he fucking came in.
Why did he bring the suitcase with him?
First focus points.
Oh, because he was batting him off.
He
People.
batted him
I was
off
like,
wee
is he
lads
that
at school.
paranoid? He's carrying the briefcase everywhere.
He was just constantly fucking dealing in them, right? So he had them, and he had enough. And I remember we came into class, and he was like, I've enough now from a shotgun. I'm going to stand away from it. We came into class on the Monday, and he was like, I used to just fucking... And hear me, what's the matter with you here? He was, they won't give me the shotgun because of where we live. So just sat back and they were like, you can't get a shotgun, mate. We can't send you a shotgun.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what I mean?
understandable.
You just see, it is like, hello, is that embassy focus points? If we send over these wee vouchers, how many shotguns can we get?
The first
You know
Civil
what I
War
mean?
armed by fucking Regal filter.
You know what I mean? We in the house in Turf Lodge. Where did you get these shotguns? Regal fake.
Like I smoked so many things.
We all smoked the pellets out of it. We got 2 hand grenades and an empty fucking tank missile from focus points. What?
Got 3 machine guns in this wee hat.
And they sent us a free poster. Look.
Things never do stuff like that anymore, like collect tokens, send them out. Nowhere does that anymore.
No.
It's a shame.
Why would they give you stuff free? People haven't got that thing anymore. It's a throwaway society.
I'm not keeping that shit.
I collect bags.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh my god.
I never pay for my Tesco bags.
That doesn't surprise me.
Self-service. Just lie. Do you know what I mean?
But that's dishonest.
I don't give a fuck. It's a corporation. I'll not steal from a wee shop or a self-run business. Absolutely not.
So
I encourage
Tesco's
stealing.
Apologies for this here,
No,
because
see,
I
for-
do not encourage this, neither does the Mudblood. This is a soul thing.
Yeah, this is me, right?
You need to put that in your Twitter handler below it,
Yeah.
just saying all my opinions in thieving is on my own. It has nothing to do with the Mudblood.
After
podcast.
everything we've said in this show, this is your line, stealing carrier bag. Spike and Granny's fine. Fucking stealing carrier bags, no.
I did not speak to Granny.
You kind of did. You inadvertently did, but you did.
No, I didn't. I was there and watched somebody doing it. It was just, I was the recording person.
Oh, sorry,
I
I'm
was
thinking of the other
independent.
time you fed people mushrooms. I got your
That was
spike.
an accidental
I got your
thing,
spike
too.
and stories
I was there.
mixed up.
I was there, but I
She
didn't.
says,
do
she's
it.
like, oh, it was an accident. But like, I don't feel bad stealing from a big multinational corporation. Fuck them.
Yeah.
They're worth fucking billions. I'll steal a fucking carrier bag. No, I'll take a fucking Snickers as well. What?
Would you?
Aye. Fucking
It
would.
shows you the dishonesty of you there.
No, I'd steal from. I wouldn't steal from a wee shop with a wee granny behind the fucking counter and it goes ding ding when you walk in.
all
Do you know
them
what I mean? That's
bags
it
you
for
get
me.
stole how many staff they have to let off every year.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give one
Do you know
fuck.
what I mean?
I don't give a fuck. They're taking my money. I'm taking the plastic bag for free.
So you just have.
I'm not a
loads of
cat. That
plastic
doesn't
bags.
bother me. That
Do you?
noise. What?
Just have a fucking house full of plastic bags that they've stolen.
Not even. I go outside and rip them up. Don't even want
Do
them. Yeah, it's just like
Throw
fuck
them in
them
the
on.
wind.
Yeah, I'm like fuck
Put them
them
in the
on.
ocean and kill some tortoise.
Yeah, I'm just behind like a wee fish, just like fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Killing them all.
Like No Country for Old Men, just fucking choking it out.
That's terrible, William.
What, stealing or
shocked,
killing
actually.
animals?
Both.
Do you never stroke from school? There was a shop beside my school.
Stroke from school.
Or like when you were in school, did you never do a wee bit of stroking? Everyone did a wee bit of stroking.
What, stealing?
Yeah, a wee bit of stroking sets the
I
fucking...
never stole anything in my life.
Really? Really? I don't believe you.
Well,
I don't-
leave it if you want.
There's a shop next to my school and like people used to steal from it. You'd literally go in,
My
open up
dad's
your blazer.
my dad's mate owned the shop beside our school.
Really? So you can stroke what you can get away with.
No. And I remember telling my dad that he sold me a loose fag. Did you ever hear of a loose fags?
I know what a loose fag is. You get them from the pokey.
Poke fan.
Pokey, yeah.
So weird that you are so different and say so different things and these are 5 minutes down the
I
road.
know. And not 5 minutes we've been over this. But yeah, we're only a wee
I
bit.
literally can't do that in 5 minutes.
Well, we'll find out, because I'll get a tattoo of my arse, and it's whatever you want. I'll get fucking Ducky McGuggin, whatever his fucking name.
Ducky Mallon.
I'll get Ducky Mallon, his big face, tattooed in my hole. If you
I
want.
used to have a photo of Ducky Mallon sports day. I got him to let on as if he was putting a javelin through my body. When I just put it through the arm like that, and his big red face. Photos up in school for ages. Like, it was a fucking cracking photo. I wish I had it. Actually, if somebody could get that photo, I would love it. I'm gonna put it up.
Of you getting speared by Ducky McGuggin.
I
can't stop calling him Ducky McGuggin. That's not his name.
It's because he's Irish. You don't want to say it.
It's just because it rhymes with
Ducky Mallon.
we Duck McGuck. Sounds funny to me.
Ducky Mallon.
Ducky Mallon.
Aye, so there's a photo of Ducky Mallon sticking his big spear into me.
Here's great, right? Because I know loads of people called Duck.
Right?
Where does that come from?
Ducky?
Ducky or Duck? Because I know a load of people called Ducky or Duck.
Well, if they're McDonald's, they get called McDuck.
Right?
But
Never heard anyone call you Paddy McDuck in my life.
no, and they wouldn't be allowed to.
Do you not like being called
I
McDuck?
fucking hate that. I would fucking slap the fucking shit out of you calling that.
We've spent the past year calling me a wee spastic, and I'm like, oh, what's happening, Duck? And you're like, that's too far, mate.
But you literally told me that your nickname was DJ Spazzy Jeff. So
True. It was
I,
that or half a side or Ricketts.
Ricketts.
That's the one I hate.
Ricketts?
But I hate Ricketts because it's not my disability.
I worked with a fella called Ricketts.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was he called Ricketts? Same
I
reason?
still have no idea why he's called Ricketts. I didn't want to ask him because it's Ricketts.
Because if you came in some like leg braces or a limp, you're like, I get why you're called Ricketts, but he was fine.
He was a taxi man. But he was called Ricketts. I don't know why he was called Ricketts. You probably find he's from West Belfast. That wasn't even him that had Ricketts.
Aye.
It was probably somebody in his family had a lip, but they called him Ricketts because they didn't want to call the other one.
Aye, so he gets it.
Yeah.
Aye.
The guy worked in
Or
a
his dad was called Ricketts, so he's wee Ricketts or something.
Aye.
I worked in a fella's house and he had Gary tattooed in his arm. But when we went to get like paper signed for doing work, he wrote Brian. And I was like, why'd you write Brian? And he went, oh, my name's Brian. And I went, well, who's Gary? And he went, my brother. And I went, sorry, is he dead? And he went, no, he's alive. And I went, why do you have his name in your arm? And he went, oh, my brother went away for a couple of months to work. And everybody thought I was him. So everybody just started calling me Gary instead of him. So everybody calls me Gary. But my name's Brian. And
What happens when Gary comes back?
And I said exactly the same thing. So I says, what's he get called? And this is G2. And he says, do you know what's mental about that? He's not even G2, he's G1.
It's fucking so confusing.
And here's me, no, he's the one. He's not even G1. He is Gary. Why didn't you just go, oh, fuck no, you're Brian, right, okay? No, so he's Gary and G2.
It's fucking amazing.
Isn't that nuts?
I'd like to imagine when you were leaving school, you probably had. Did you ever do the leavers pranks where you'd fuck up a school for like a day?
Our last day in school, in the school that I went to, like to do my GCSEs, our last exam was RE, and I just brought a carrier in.
Well, it's not so much as a prank as you just had like getting steaming. In the
Literally,
middle of
just sat it on the table and just went, okay.
Imagine sitting in an exam really stressed, being like, right, so the book of market, just hearing you
Tens of
getting
talents.
chinned into some tenants.
Everybody just brought carriers in, I just remember it, and then we all went to Falls Park after.
That's what I thought you'd stab a teacher or something fucking
For
mental.
fuck's sake, it wasn't that bad.
You sounded a wee bit.
No, not that bad.
Just break a bit of wood over Jesus' fucking abs for the
I
last
didn't
day.
even do that. It was somebody else done that. But I mean, it's just
I never had the last day because our school got really strict with it. Because a few years before my last day, the leavers went in. This school, so our school installed a brand new pitch. Wouldn't fuck up about it. State of the art big rugby pitch. They went in with some weed killer and drew this big, magnificent spunking dick. Like it was the length of the entire fucking pitch, and it was weed killer, so it was burnt in, and had to reseed the entire fucking pitch for the next year.
it was
School were fucking ripping. And that's the day I realised our school didn't actually have working CCTV. Because they would have caught who did it. They all looked, no one looked like them.
yeah.
But that's it. And then they found out who it was because someone touted eventually.
Right.
Like everyone in the
get
school.
done?
They didn't get.
They were
already away or something. I think their unis got notified, but like their unis didn't really, give a fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So what?
So they got it. But I mean, like this thing was fucking
Top of the stadium.
2 rugby pitches wide, drops a spunk coming out of it. And I remember sitting in geography the day you know, went to the window, so I'm like, there's a big cock in the pitches. Fuck whatever was going on. Everyone was like leaning out the window looking. The teacher was like, there's nothing to look at. You're like, fuck off, sir. There's a giant dick. Yeah.
Do you see your man? I seen this thing the other day. Had like an ant problem in his back garden.
Right.
And he got gas from his main system or from the barbecue and put a pipe into the ground.
Fuck, he went Nazi style with it.
Filled it up and then fucked the match in. And then fucking...
What are you doing?
and he's like late matches and going, oh,
I'm Ducky Malone and welcome to Jackass.
Ducky Malone and you fucking Jesus Christ. Protestants really just can't fucking say a word. But he was throwing these matches like that, and every time there's been next match, he was like, the fucking garden just fucking lifted.
This cunt suicide bombed his own fucking garden.
What the
Was he alright?
I don't give a fuck about them we ants.
Why do you give a fuck about ants, man?
He fucking blew bollocks at him for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, they were there, that's why you blow them up.
Right, okay.
But, like... do you know what I mean?
So you're condoning the Ra now, then?
Well, no, because the Ra didn't kill ants. The troubles weren't started over ants.
How do you know?
Because I did history with it.
It's maybe just an anthill, and that's what they're fighting over.
I mean, I thought it was over a post office.
Is that what it was?
That's what, you know.
Somebody brought their dead uncle and couldn't get their brew out.
Yeah.
Well, fucking nuts.
Yeah. That's right. And this may be me being stupid, right?
It is you being stupid.
But why was the post office such a big thing to take?
I think because it was in the centre of town.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I just think it was like in a crossroads in O'Connell Street. So I think it was the centre.
Yeah.
So I think it just gave them as a base to fire down the street.
Right, I see. What bill, like if you were to take over, we're not even talking Ireland, Northern Ireland, if you were to take over the country, make Paddy's wee country, whatever you'd call it, McDonnell only, or whatever, what building would you take? How would you stage your rebellion? Where would you take it?
If I was to take over Tesco's, Knocknagonny.
Tesco. You in a wee fortress of fucking plastic bags.
You've all the supplies you need.
So you and Ducky Malin with a big fucking javelin.
Just you coming out with bags going, keep saying it, the bag gets it, the bag gets it. One glass of fucking ants.
I'm shot for stealing bags out of it. But yeah, this is episode 50. 50, can you believe it, Patrick?
Yes.
The time flies. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. No.
Really, it's been dragging on you, has it?
No,
You've aged terrible.
It feels like 50.
No,
Definitely
it doesn't. Flies in.
It actually
I remember
does.
days we'd be sitting in your wee shed.
I remember the time you brought me in, we done a fucking thing in a dog grooming massage parlour vaping shop in East Belfast. And
I don't remember this.
And we set it up. It was on a Sunday and we set it up on a massage. Well, I set it up because you forgot the fucking mics or something.
Nah, I was never in charge of the mics. So
you went home for something.
I went to get something about one of the mics.
And I had to set it up, and I set it up on a massage table. And 2 dog grooming fucking stools. And it was like our second ever one.
And how... Oh, fuck, that's right, I remember that.
Do you remember?
Because we didn't have them on YouTube, the initial ones.
Yeah.
That's right, fuck, how far we have came, fellas.
So you're lucky, like?
I'm lucky what I didn't get shot.
No, we're lucky, I'm saying. That we've got as far as we have, like.
We finally got a studio. Having this studio was so handy because when we were shooting the show, it's like, whose back garden can we use?
Where
was using the shed and shit?
Where we're shooting today.
Yeah. We have thousands.
Was that the first fucking guys from fucking Housing Estates in Belfast that were ringing up each other going, where we're shooting today? I'll tell you when we get there. Have you got the gear? Yes, I've got the gear. Right, well, I just meet you here.
We're getting thousands of viewers and being like, sorry guys, we have to cut the fucking show short. They're putting the kids to bed now. We have to go. Like,
do you remember the one with the dog?
Oh, with Jacko?
Thought it was a child screaming. And it was
and that whole episode, you just hear, in the background, you're a fucking
dog going, you fucking bastards.
I was like, we'll have one episode where Jacko was allowed in the shed, and then after we never had him back because he was a wee bastard.
Yeah, that's fine.
He was a lovely wee man, a lovely wee dog.
Sorry, yeah, no, he bit my child's face. Of course, he wasn't a lovely wee dog. I miss him.
He bit my child's face. I miss him. When was there a fire?
Oh, a fire at Sean's back. He wasn't there. That's when he was late in the fire.
Was it the 11th, was it?
It was in July, wasn't it?
Oh, can we have a Mudblood 11th special?
That sounds like something you get in the chippy and the shackle. Excuse me, can I have a July 11th fucking special, please?
The wee bony made up of salt and chili chicken, just stacked up like that.
After Mudblood sauce and that.
It's just a fucking pallet of chips. we tricolour the damn it.
Fuck, we love burning the flags, like we really do. Bless. It's actually a bonfire without
Do you ever,
flags on it. And, like, it
do you
just
ever get
looks
sent
naked.
to steal the flags?
No, it was never me. I don't know where they get them. I honestly don't know.
I can tell you where they
Where do they get them?
The graveyard after Easter. And
I mean, that's a good place if you're gonna get.
well, that's where they put them up. You see, they always put the Irish flags up for the fucking Remember the Dead.
Yeah.
So at Easter time, they come and get them. That's right. It's like when did
That's so wrong.
When did we get the flags? July.
I honestly thought they
We used to
ordered
go
them.
down Donegal Road in the bikes and bring a rope with 2 sticks on it, and you fuck the rope up over the top of the thing, and then the two you just pull the other side, and it just to snap
Right.
the flags in front of the
I
house.
genuinely thought there was some cunt taking a risk and ordering like a big 50-foot tricolour to his door, being like, "Don't open that." What's in it? Doesn't matter. Just don't open
They
it.
obviously don't pay for them if they're going to burn them.
You might do. I don't know.
Sinn Féin posters get a big fucking collection.
Not just Sinn Féin, but all the posters get out. DUP
Yes, they
posters, UUP. They all go up there.
Not on that bonfire.
Yeah, they just don't like politicians, really. There was
Well, they get a right few of them to fucking light them. So Paul Barry lights them on in Ballymena, so he's hardly fucking on there.
he's not going to be on there, but like the ones I go to, there was a Peter Robinson one there one year. No, the year he was being a wee bit dodgy. Iris wasn't on a bonfire; she was on a spit roast.
What'd you call your wee man she was fucking? Kyle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Do you know him?
I do.
Well, why don't you say his name?
Because I'm friends with family, I can't actually. Say.
Oh, right, so
do.
you actually know
I
him?
do actually know him.
Do you know him, like?
I don't know him, but I know his family.
You know his sister?
I don't know his sister.
Do you know his brother?
Nah.
Do you know his mummy?
I'm not saying who I know, but I do know his family quite well. So it's
I know his
it's
family,
a soft
but I don't
issue.
know.
It's a
No,
soft
it was
spot.
definitely a hard fucking spot. That was a hard issue. Well, all he's doing was fucking a woman. Just so happened it was the First Minister's wife.
Aye. He actually, Peter Robinson lived in the next street along from me. So I lived in like this big, like this big, like where I lived was a little slice of a like a council estate
Right.
amongst all these massive houses.
Right.
But he was the next street along. He had special security. I had a mate one time just called around his house, went in for tea with him. Peter Robinson was like, "So what issues are you here for?" He was like, "No, I just thought I'd call around." Like,
Get a cuppa.
yeah, and then just sat
He says,
awkwardly.
are you here to fuck my wife?
Do you remember the interview he did in Nolan after Iris got bucked and he was sad with the dogs with a wee cup of tea looking all shaken?
No.
Oh, it was fucking hilarious. I felt so bad for him. He's like, I have been betrayed by a man. Then it came out he was being a fucking money grabbing cunt. So everyone was like, I'm glad your wife's getting fucking piped. That was the 1 year the DUP lost the seat.
They'll lose it again this year.
And then that,
Do you think they'll lose it this year?
where I am, no.
No.
Do I think they'll lose the majority? Yes. But not where I am. They'll never lose East Belfast. They only lose East Belfast when serious
Who's
shit
running
happens.
this year in East Is it Gavin?
Yes.
Gavin,
Robinson.
the Anaheim Diamonds?
No. They thought he was, but he's not.
He's not?
Not they thought he was, I thought he was, but he's not. Like they thought he was, like we thought you were our son.
Thought you were related to us. Iris was like,
He's married to
Nah, I can
Iris.
fuck you.
Is she still on fire? I know she resigned.
What are you asking me for?
Don't know.
You live fucking beside him.
I know.
How would I fucking know?
But I don't know if they're even still together or not, are they?
I would say not.
Maybe. It was brilliant it was her though, 'cause she was the one being out being like gays or disgusting. But wee boys dicks, class.
I like a barista.
She had so much in common with the guy, she loves cocks.
I like a barista.
These are all allegations, of course, none of them.
No, well, it was found out it was true.
I don't want to get libelled. Do you know
For
what I mean?
what? Listen, there's a lot more we can worry about.
That's the ghost of Iris Robinson
Isn't it? She
knocking
just
out.
fucking kick that down.
Yeah. Do you remember the early days of the podcast where you weren't used to the concept of people might actually sue us for this and you would say whatever and I had to be like, Sean, do cut that. Because
There wasn't much cut, was there?
there was a few things there was at the start I had to keep telling you. There was no time we spoke about someone and you said something, a certain
Journalist.
let's say, and you made allegations about him and you were like, what's he gonna do, sue me? And I was like, if one person's gonna sue you, it's gonna be fucking him. Like,
I know who you're talking about.
They've sued cunts on Twitter for way
He
less.
did not sue somebody. That was all a fucking setup.
They did.
Just to scare people off. No one.
They sued several people, not just one. Who else? Someone recently. There's a thing now where they will just sue you over shit you say on Twitter. Which, you know what? Part of me is like, fair enough. You can't just say what you want and be like, oh, that's completely fine. Who was that cunt? The embarrassing bodies guy? Dr. Christian or something?
It's Stephen Nolan sued him, didn't he?
No, not Stephen. No.
Arlene Foster.
Arlene Foster sued him, yeah.
Right.
Because he was like, he was like, oh, you were bucking your limo driver.
Is that what it was?
That's he said.
I thought he said she had a dick.
No.
Well, there you go.
Can you sue someone over that? Have to go into court. I do not have a dick.
Show me.
Yeah, that'd be a quick court case. There you go. 40 grand. I'd go into court for that. No, he said she was fucking her limo driver.
1.8 million.
That was something. His career's over. Like, he's skint now because of that.
Is that right?
Skint.
Dr.
No money.
Christian.
Because he was just not showing up to court. And you can't just not show up to court.
He thought it was going to go away.
Yeah. And when you don't show up, they'll end up just giving you the harshest fucking things. You've literally no defence.
And you know that she went straight home and threw it into her RHI boiler.
I thought you were going to say arse. 180 grand cash
Fucked
in
it
her
into the
arsehole.
border. I don't need that.
Oh, fuck. Can't get that out of my mind. That's
Arlene
gross.
Foster sticking money up her bum.
Oh, up her boiler. Oh,
Or
fuck.
chicken shit.
Or chicken shit. I've never heard an asshole.
I would say she has a massive chicken shit. I'd say there's been plenty of chickens.
3 acres.
I'd say there's been plenty of chickens and lots of eggs fucking in her chicken shit. Jake, it's
If
nice
we
and-
get sued for
do
that,
you think it's nice and warm in her chicken shit?
I reckon Arlene Foster does hatch eggs, to be fair.
No, do you reckon she hatches eggs? I reckon she could kick every one of us, like kick a fuck out of all of us together, like.
I reckon she'd be some kisser.
There. If she shaved the.
No, I reckon she'd be some kisser. I swear, just looking at her, I just can tell.
Is she still? I know she left. Is she still in politics? I see her gurning all the time. But I don't know if she's still about.
Is politics a nickname for Fermanagh?
I know she's there.
She did say that if it was a United Ireland, she would leave.
I've never wanted to vote more for United Ireland in my life.
I'm sure there's a very few presidents going, fuck, I might just lose the DLA for this one.
That's some choice. Like.
Keep Arlene Foster or get rid of her.
And fucking well, everyone. I love doing my joke about a United Ireland because no one knows where it goes. It's my favourite one.
Well, I know where it goes.
You know where it goes now because you've
It goes
seen
in your
it.
book.
Does. Fucking. Why is my mind just went completely? I was gonna say something. I've got the image of Arlene Foster sitting with a
big
6-pack of
chickens, yeah.
eggs, knees up, just putting them up her bum.
If anybody can draw me a picture of Arlene Foster with a big chicken shit at the back of her, it would please me very
Paul
much.
McAlinden will be
Paul
straight up,
McAlinden.
and it will be class. It'll be the best drawing
Of Arlene
you've ever
Foster
seen.
with her big chicken shit.
have
The
the-
two doors land completely.
You'll have the
open, you can
wrinkles
see
of the
right
anus
in
and all going. It will look fucking amazing. That dude's good. Anytime we'll mention something off cuff, and within a day,
So
he sent us
did
a
your
drink.
man get sued because he said she was bucking her limo driver, or
so it was
so
over
did they prove
the.
that she wasn't, or did they not prove
No,
that she wasn't?
well,
Or just he can't say it.
It was you can't prove that I did that, but it was over the Ashers case, and he was like, "Oh, you're a homophobe, but you're willing to like cheat on your husband."
Right, okay.
And she was like, "Well, you can't prove that I did do that. That's a slanderous rumor," and he couldn't prove it, so it is liable at that point.
Right.
So then he got sued. It was when that. Do you remember the 5 years? The Asher's case was the biggest thing. See, looking back, wasting fucking time, that.
And money.
Huge amounts of money wasted on that.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was so like, I tell you not let gay people get the cake. I was so on that side. See, now I'm looking back, I'm like, go to a different shop.
Go to a gay cake shop.
Yeah, or not just go to a cake shop that'll do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think they were targeted deliberately because they were a Christian baker. I think that's a fucking conspiracy there.
No, you think they just went in because
think
they
they just
liked the
went,
product, and,
yeah.
and then they went, oh no,
Yeah.
sorry. I think they took it. I think they initially took the order.
Yeah. The ma took the order and then the
And
son
then
went,
since
no.
it went, oh, we're not fucking doing that. So I think that's where, I think if they had refused at the start, like all they had to do is open the book and go, oh fuck, no, listen,
Yeah.
we haven't got an opening here for us.
Is that what the cake said?
It's not the type of opening we like. No, it's Do you know, it can be done that way.
But it became such a Northern Ireland thing where we can never talk about the issue. We always make it well, what if? I became like, what if I wanted a Shankle Butcher's cake
I was like,
from a Falls Road shop? And you're like, what party?
No, I love the fact that Jeffrey Donaldson, and he, quote, said this, well, if I went to a Jewish baker and asked him to make me a cake with Nazis on it.
we cake Nazis. And we Hitler made a chocolate frosting.
And I was like, why would a Nazi, for starters, go to a Jew to make him a cake? If there's one place where Nazis shouldn't go to get his food, it's in a Jewish establishment, because
that's Jeffrey's point.
of course we take that cake and we will shade in it. We will make it with the fetus of your baby. Do you know
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, it is Nazi cake.
But that's such a Northern Irish political thing. We can never just go, here's the issue, talk about the issue. We always have to take it to 100.
And I think he actually turned in and he said something like, well, if I went into a bakery shop on the Shankill Road and asked for a hunger striker cake,
Yeah. It's nothing on a plate.
and people were like, not really good, was it, Jeffrey? Like,
That's the nicest joke I could have made in there.
you know what I mean?
I had like 4 and that was the nicest one that was in my mind. I gotta get shot.
Yeah, go get you.
William Thompson, the Fela this year.
You feel it down. You feel it down the fucking alleyway and get 2 in the fucking back of head.
I find it so weird that the Sinn Féin ones do like me and DUP fucking hate me and I'm the wee prod. Like.
Sinn Féiners hate you now.
They don't, after that joke, they will.
You may as well do it in Irish.
Mudblood 50, thanks for sticking with us for a year. There's more sectarian jokes to come.
But you know, for him to say stuff like that, there's fucking...
It's our politicians, like even like the way English politicians, they'll talk a lot of shite, but I'm like, at least you've put in the effort to say nothing. Mm-hmm. You've talked for 10 minutes, you've said nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas our politicians come out with the energy of like a fucking ma whose kid's being bullied in school.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're like, well, why the fuck shouldn't I be allowed to fucking call them dirty fucking Muslim bastards? And you're like, you're an elected official.
Do you remember that? Peter Robinson says, well, I would let him go to the shop for me.
That's right! that was the Pastor McConnell thing, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Because he was like, Islam is the dirtiest religion, they're murderers, and he just sounded like he just got a load of fucking it sounded like he was collecting the tokens.
Says, well, if a Muslim man wanted to go to the shop for me, I would let him. And I was like, what?
And that was like, what a weird. That's why it's so hard to do political jokes here.
Muhammad!
Yeah.
Go and get me one of those Belfast baps.
20 Super Kings, please, Muhammad.
And also Bookman's Orange and a Belfast Telegraph Evening Edition, please.
If a Muslim man wanted to fuck my wife, I'd let him.
Peter was probably thinking it was better to send Muhammad to the shop than him go and leave Muhammad there because he'd be in the back of fucking Irish. Allah Akbar.
Suicide bombing over her face.
Allah Akbar.
Did you say isn't it at the end of that? Like, isn't that what they say? Ali Akbar? We Alan Akbar. That's right. Well, now I just want to think of all the mental political scandals because there's so many. Because our political scandals are never, and he was caught fiddling expenses. I mean, it is that, but Ian Paisley gets away with it all the time. Yeah. It's never anything, high class. It's always something where you go, he did fucking what?
Jerry Adams saying the N-word.
That was another one. That was weird as fuck.
Balla Murphy.
Yeah, don't say it. But that was... I got cut you, don't say it. He said a real Balla Murphy, and everyone was like... The Sinn Féin had to be like...
I'll say the Irish version. Balla Murphy Jigger.
Is that actually what it is?
What?
Is that what it is in Irish? Don't sound angry.
No.
What?
There is no word for the N-word in Irish.
Is there not?
No.
Oh, can't you? Very progressive people.
The Irish for a black man is Fargorm, which is actually the blue man.
Fargorm?
Yeah, blue man.
Sounds like a character in Game of Thrones. Fargorm.
An orange man's far bright, which is actually translated to yellow man.
Oh, it's racist against Asians, alright.
Asians watching.
Don't. I saw him changing his eyes. He's not. No. We've made it to 50. We're making it to 100. I have a TV show coming out. We're not doing that.
Listen, if there's a Bruce Lee fucking Gilly Club, there can be a Bruce Lee orange fucking.
There's a Bruce Lee Gilly Club.
There is.
I forgot about this.
So there could be a Bruce Lee orange hole. There's like 5 orange men and fucking. I
believe you.
There's a parade in Africa.
About what? You just.
Orange parade? There's an orange fucking.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hole in Africa? What do you mean, oh, yeah, no?
I thought you meant there's a parade in Africa for the Gaelic Bruce Lee.
So why wouldn't there be a fucking Chinese branch of the fucking.
Yeah. You come down to the Jackie Chan Rangers Supporters Club, it's just weird. I don't see where those cultures mix.
The Bruce Lee Fusiliers.
Yeah.
The purple star of fucking Shanghai.
The Steven Seagal Ulster Defenders. I just don't see where.
Faro.
No, you've been told no. You're not to do it. You're not to do your impressions. Because your impressions. Don't start. We're not doing it.
We're out of Bruce Lee, boys.
I don't condone any of this. We have Asian listeners. It's not okay. It's like, it's any time you do any impression, I'm like, it's gonna be racist as fuck. I know you don't mean
Or
it.
is it? Har
You
is
even
it?
did that, racist. You went har, is it? Like, I know you don't mean to, but you can't do the accents and they end up going. You like your impression of a black man. You're like, oh, that's how they sound, and like every black man to you sounds like Samuel L. Jackson in the 90s. That's how every black guy talks when you do their voice.
No, it's
You're like, oh, do you want to hear my Trevor McDonald? What's up, motherfuckers? And you're like, that's not how he talks.
Mickey Bartlett.
That's me, Mickey Bartlett, doing Trevor McDonald.
Tonight on News at 10. What's up,
Slap a bitch! There was that's right, Jerry Adams saying the N-word was fucking great. Because it was in between him trampling naked with his dog. Him on Twitter was the weirdest thing.
I know, I did think at one stage, like, Sinn Féin were like, somebody please go up and take his remote and his phone off him, please. What the fuck is he doing?
He's live tweeting coverage of the 12th. It's like, Jerry, get off it.
Him coming out of the bushes with the cookbook was the best. Hi, you might recognise me from
The best. So he just turns around the camera on TikTok and goes, TikTok, la. They never made another TikTok. That's all he needed to do.
Because they went and took it off him again.
Jerry Kelly fucking swinging about the Peeler's bonnet was funny.
Just pull in now. If I was that Peeler, I'd have pulled in now. Wouldn't you think?
I with his history, absolutely.
Pull in now.
I'd have floored it. No, my joking, actually.
He mounted it like a coffee fucking maker did on ours.
It's when a fat lad gets on a boogie board in Port Stewart. That's how he mounted it. Like that. There's so many. There's times you're like, that's mental. Edwin Poots going, trying to fight the guy. One big man.
I love you.
One big man.
Let's
You know
go.
he'd swing a fucking big too. I don't like him, but he'd swing like.
He's a fucking head on him like a FA Cup. Doesn't he? You can lift him by them ears.
Yeah.
The Edmund Poots trophy.
You could hang on to his ears like Jerry Kelly on the front of a fucking police van, just like that there.
And then fucking Nelson McCausland being the fucking Minister of Arts and Culture.
That's right.
Holy
That's right.
Fuck the night.
Do you remember Rihanna was filming a video here?
You remember?
I do, because it was that video. But she was filming a video, and a DUP farmer came out and was like, "Put your fucking tits away." The only man in the world was like, "Yo, Rihanna, put those tits away."
Yeah.
What a freak. Do you know what I mean?
Well, in fairness, a lot of them DUP men are actually gay and they just don't want to come out and say it.
Oh, I bet the party's riddled with them.
Yeah.
One of those one of those country, like in those backwards places in the country where it's still weird to be gay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I bet that's where the real
like Armoy or somewhere like
Yeah.
that there.
Yeah.
There's one I'm like, I'm the only DUP gay in the village.
I am the representative councillor for Muckamore for
What
the
do you mean, am I
DUP.
gay? Fucking no way, you wee bitch. I'll have you know that I march every 12th of July with all my mates.
Can play a tin whistle with my arse.
I love it. I love playing my skin flute. I mean, just flute and...
I love playing the drums. Sometimes I'm the lambeg.
I get banged like a lamb bag sometimes. Jim Allister.
March is 12th.
Jim
Fuck, I'll not be
Allister,
walking anywhere
I
today.
can't listen to Jim Allister.
He is.
Because he's smart, but he's stupid.
It's
But
not
it's
he's.
his- but it's way he
It's not that
talks.
he's stupid because he's not. It's he's
much
so in his own views that I think like
Blinded.
he's blinded and he'll find whatever way to work things
The
around
best
to
one
his
was your
view.
man, the English guy, when he says, why would we celebrate in this country a battle that happened in some foreign land? And your man, the English guy, turned around and went, do you not celebrate the 12th of July every year?
The way he said it, it's like the radio presenter smoking. Listen here, you celebrate the point. Fuck off. Fuck up.
So he put the fucking sunglasses in your man.
Do you remember this?
Slug life.
Someone phoned in the Nolan. They were talking about bonfires being too close to houses, and the guy was like, "Well, you shouldn't build houses
And the houses
so
were
close
there
to bonfires." And you see, like 3 seconds of Nolan going, "What?"
Your woman, Ruth Patterson.
Remember, I went blonde and I looked like her.
She turned around and she says,
Go ahead, talk away.
she says, well, we all know that St. Patrick was a Protestant.
That's right.
And your man, William Crawley, went, you do know St. Patrick was about
Catholicism.
before the Reformation. And she was like,
Yes, but he was a Protestant man.
and in my eyes, he had the principles of a Protestant man.
Oh,
Funny. She lost her. That was her. Like, she was done.
because that wasn't even offensive. It was just thick.
Yeah.
It was you're so stupid.
She
you
was
can't
the
run.
one that stood outside Stormont the time that they all
May God forgive them what they have done to Ulster, because I won't.
Ulster stand behind her going, I mean, like,
Everyone's been like, peace has been signed.
yeah,
No one gives a fuck what Ruth Patterson thinks.
yeah. And then she was deputy first minister. She was deputy Lord Mayor to.
I was going to say she was never deputy first minister.
Stanley.
That's right. That's right.
And he didn't do something. And I remember seeing a TV programme where she was going, you are wearing a chain of Belfast. You have to do that. And he was just sitting up at her going, oh, fuck up.
Fuck up, will you?
Fuck up. That's why I couldn't be a politician.
Because you'd just be there and be like, fuck. That's the one reason you couldn't be a
I
politician.
just go, fuck up. You can't say it in the chamber. Fuck up.
I couldn't because I'd be giggling the whole time.
Fuck up. You fuck up. You fuck up. And you fuck up.
I'd be like getting a question, being like, "Gay boy says what? What?" That would be me in the chamber. You'd see me in the back bench just skinning up. Does the house have any filters?
Jim Wallister fucking telling you off.
But that's what bothers me about him. Genuinely clever man. And on the once in a blue moon, you get an issue where you're like, he's right. And it's never about politics here, because I don't agree with him about any local politics. But you're like, he actually does speak well. But then he'll just come out with something like, Catholics shouldn't give blood. And you're like, Jesus Christ. That was remember they wouldn't let gay people give blood for years? Based on it boiled down to they all have AIDS.
The sleeping monkeys.
Truly, that's what they thought.
Yeah.
They thought every gay dude had AIDS.
There's 4 people in the DUP going. I give blood.
Can I not give blood now or what?
How long are we on?
48.
Oh, I'll do some questions.
And we're not doing a Q&A. We'll do a couple of questions, but we'll save most of them for...
We'll just finish this then.
Hang on, we've got one good question I would like to...
Meh.
hang on.
You really did take my phone away from me. It's way over.
You told me to?
Way over. William's wearing his wee red shoes today. When he clicks his heels twice, he ends up in Tullycarnet.
There's no place like a boney. There's no place like a boney. Right, let me see. There was one that I really enjoyed and I would like to ask it. Who asked it?
I've had a lot more people.
And are you gonna finish that sentence? Or?
I've had a lot more people contacting me about you looking like people.
I hate this. I don't enjoy any of them.
And this one's quite hilarious. So the question last week was, who would you get to play you in a movie? And where if I can find this? Oh, fuck me. I'm obviously not going to find this.
I know I'm not going to be able to find mine either. This is really great listening, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I remember what the question was. The question I got asked was, what is your favourite and worst traits in each other?
You for being late.
That's your favourite.
That's my worst.
Yeah. Even though I was here before him today.
But it doesn't matter if you're here before me and early and I'm fucking on time. That doesn't count.
I've been good. The past few weeks I haven't been late. I'll rock in at 3:02 and Paddy's like, where have you been?
No, you be late. Like really late.
I haven't been late in ages.
So anyway, I'm going to have to Google this because I can't find the photo now.
I love how you didn't give a favourite trait. Yes, what you said.
Favourite tip?
Yeah. Mine of yours, your worst one is probably your inability to ever admit you're wrong.
What do you mean?
So if we're ever arguing about something, you never turn around and be
Raise
like, I'm wrong.
Raise up.
You continue to argue it. Your Jesus Christ. That was quiet. I heard the quiet bit and it got louder. It was like a fucking motorbike starting up. You're a very kind man.
I'm a very kind man.
You're a very nice man.
There you go.
We psycho, but you're a very kind man. Oh yeah, Rufus. Yeah,
Rufus from Jumanji.
Yeah.
Did we have him?
Yeah, we get Rufus all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
Ladies, I think we'll wrap
Yeah,
up
we'll
after
wrap
I
it
look
up.
like Rufus because we're going to be doing a Q&A for the Patreon podcast. But other than that, thank you very much for joining us on the Mudblood podcast, episode
Kurt
50.
McCambly. That's who sent it in, was it?
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.